BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. Welcome to this appointment of 15 minutes of experience. Today I'm with Francisco Vasquez. Welcome to this podcast.
Yes, hi. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be part of this podcast and contribute to your work.
Yeah, that's nice what you say. So as you know, I would like if you can say something about you, then we can talk.
So like I said, my name is Francisco Vasquez. I'm a New York-based street photographer. I've been shooting since 2007, but I've been taking it more serious as of 2017. I just loved going out there. I love experimenting. It's gotten me out of, I'm a graphic designer by trade, but it's another outlet of creative outlet to get away from the computer and also just a way of connecting with the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting what you say. I mean, it's almost the same for me. I work almost all the day in front of computer, and then photography. I think in a way it's another way to connect with the world. I mean, differently from the computer.
Absolutely.
So, before we was talking about, so this is a new year, and you was thinking about what to do, figuring out what to do in the next months, and have you some ideas? Your work is pretty clear, is most in the street, and so then I can imagine what you can plan is more about catching some particular street or some particular stories that you know. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I think this year, I mean, as every year, I've been trying to, continue working on my body of work. I do a lot of traveling. I've noticed that I get a lot of inspiration overseas. Like this past year, I went to Europe. I spent some time in Mexico. Previous year was Guatemala. Every year I try to make a milestone trip out of it. And the reason I do that is it gives me I realize it gives me a better connection to New York, because New York is so diverse. And, it has allowed me to connect deeper with New York. So that's my plan is to kind of figure out my next trip. And I'm thinking more of Latin America, just because that's my roots, my heritage. I'm from Ecuador originally, or was born in Ecuador. So that's one plan. Another plan would be dropping a zine. I've been working on a few projects. What else? That's pretty much it. And just keep on learning, keep on taking workshops. I'm a student of the game, so
Yeah, I've seen that you was in Italy, in Naples.
Oh yes, I was there in September.
It's pretty easy for me to recognize. It's my city.
Oh, that's where you're from?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, let me tell you. So that city was amazing. I cannot wait to go back. That Napoli, and Genova in the north.
So yeah, two cities I was living in. I mean, Naples, that's where I come from, and Genoa. I was there for some years with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I know pretty good, and it's nice to see your picture there. I mean, for me, it's nice because I don't remember at all now if I was shooting in the street there or not. I mean, it's past too many years.
It's such a lovely city. It's beautiful. It's gritty. I mean, that's what I'm attracted to. Is just something, very historical. The port city. I realized that I gravitate towards those cities just because they're so, again, diverse. And I mean, like Genova, for example, I was only supposed to be there for one night. I got off the train and for the first 20 minutes, I shot some of my favorite work, and I just fell in love that I had to stay an extra day, and I will return. So I'm hoping I can do it this year.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's really cool. I mean, I think it's pretty cool the things that especially when you come from another place and you
Hmm.
go in a new city, you can catch things that other don't see, or maybe they don't do it. I mean, for me, it was like
Hmm.
was difficult to go out and taking picture in my place. I mean, differences from here in Berlin
Right.
that I do it almost every week. I mean, every week for sure. And
Right. Right. Well, that's exactly like I was saying is when I travel, I come back and I feel more inspired, and I see New York differently every time I come back. Because every time I'm here, I try to shoot as much as possible, but 42nd Street, Herald Square, Manhattan, downtown, it all starts looking the same after a while. And I just sometimes need that, something different to spark
yeah,
that
what I can
creativity.
think, is difficult in New York. Yeah, for sure. It's you have always the same places around you. I think what the only things can be probably inspiring is that there is always a refresh of people, no? So it's I
Right.
mean, I don't think it's so easy to catch the same person every day, you know.
Right. No, it's, I mean, street photography, it's a game of patience. So sometimes you can be out there for hours and not, it's like fishing. You go out in the ocean and you don't catch anything. Sometimes you come back, with a shark.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
I try to differentiate my style. I try to go into the boroughs. I love shooting in Queens. I grew up going to Queens as a child, like Roosevelt, Jackson Heights. Um, it's a place that I connect deeply with. Brooklyn is nice, the boroughs. So I think as a New York street photographer, it's good to just venture out into different areas. Like I was just in Coney Island last week, this week, or was it Sunday, Saturday, New Year's Day for the polar bear plunge, which was amazing. So I think it's just a matter of exploring different areas of New York,
Yeah.
and getting out of your comfort zone. So
Look, yeah, you have collected a lot of picture, we can say, during these years. And I wanted to ask you, what is, I mean, if you stop for a second, watch at the entire archive of work you have, what is your feeling to have all of this picture, and what to, I don't know, in a way, also you feel to doing with all of them? I mean, I think as me in the same time, I started to shoot was 2006.
mhm.
Yeah. So, and I accumulated a lot of pictures, thousand pictures. I mean, it's not only, it's a film digital with
Yeah,
phone, with everything. And actually, yeah, then some months ago, I lost pretty everything. I mean, I recovered something from the hard disk,
oh
but
no.
yeah, I lost a lot of things, no? And in a way, I have to say, yeah, sure, I'm sad about, but in the same time, I don't remember at all what I
Yeah.
lost. you know, so
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's this past year, I've dedicated to photography, and the first order of business was have a library, organize all my work, and it literally took me 2 months to organize photos from like 2007 till now. While I'm still shooting, I put everything into folders, categorize everything by date, separated family, friends, what was street, what wasn't street. It was a lot, but it's important to, yeah.
yeah, I
to,
know you get crazy. You stay there in front of the computer for hours and hours every day, and
ooh,
and seems like never finish this work.
right, because you're still continuing, you're still shooting, you're
Yeah,
still adding to
yeah,
the pile. So I kind of figured out, I kind of set up a system to be more organized, because I do think that's key. It's hard for creatives to be organized, but through my industry as a graphic designer, it helps down
yeah.
the road, especially now where I'm taking this more serious and I want to do zines and I want to, just take it up to the next level. Somebody asked me to do a show like in 2020, and I was so disorganized. I didn't know where all my photos were. I had to go through different hard drives. So now I'm more prepared and ready to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
tackle.
yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, it's a part of experience. We do it during the time.
Right.
I mean, if you shoot just one day per year, it's a thing. If you shoot almost every day, it's another thing. I mean, you start to also think, okay, how I have to organize this picture. Also, because there are moments sometimes we don't have the time to post product the picture. I mean, to work on, and you
Right.
accumulate there for months, and then you go back and you have a chaos,
Yeah.
no? So it's important to have a kind of a system inside of our archive.
Right.
But yeah, let's talk about something else. I'm curious to know more about how it's your practice. I mean, yeah, for sure, you go out, you walk, you still stay in the street, but let's go a bit more personally and yeah, tell me more about what is your approach and yeah, how do you set yourself, your mind?
I mean, I think my approach is very energy driven. Um, I just literally go out there and I go through my normal, I have set paths basically. I go from, I usually like now I start at like World Trade Center and I comb through downtown and I kind of listen to what's going on, or follow the light. If it's not sunny or whatever, it's just more sounds. And I just take my chances. I'm like, all right, let me walk this way, let me walk that way. What's over here? I have my certain areas that I like to frequent. Like for example, downtown. I just found out down in City Hall where people get their immigration, where they get their citizenship is. I don't know. I was just down there a couple months ago, and I realized how beautiful it was to see all these people dressed up from different countries in one location. And the light just hits perfectly down there at a certain time. But yeah, that's pretty much my practice. I obviously I've been purchasing so many books. I've been reading a lot about other photographers, some YouTube channels, as well to get
Yeah,
inspiration. But like I said, it's just, I get out of, my place and I kind of just disconnect with everything and kind of put myself in the street and go with the flow. Um, Sometimes it'll be like an 8 hour day.
yeah.
Others of 4 hours. But you
Sometimes
don't realize it.
you
Yeah.
go out for 30 minutes and then you come back at after 8 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. No, when I was in Cuba, I took a friend with me, my buddy Danny, and he's all in shape and works out. He runs marathons, and I was combing the streets of Havana with him, and I gave him credit for joining me, and he was like, "Damn, bro, like we did half a marathon today. Like this is insane. You do this all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, man. I mean, it's not easy making a photo. It's a lot of patience and serendipity, and it takes time. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
this
yeah,
is what this reason why I started this podcast, because I think there are a lot of, yeah, thousand of beautiful picture. I will say, I mean, as a curator in this case, it's a word always. Just you open Instagram, you open Flickr, you open every kind of website, you find a
Mhm.
lot of work, you find a lot of beautiful work. But then, yeah, I ask always to myself, okay, why this person doing that? I mean, why, what you want to reach, and I mean, I'm a
Yeah,
photographer too. So then what I learned when I started to study master photography in long project as a author, that is
Mhm.
important to also understand why you do it that, or otherwise you are just you're just a number in the scene, no?
Right,
And this is something, yeah, I started to up inside of my work as a curator, to always understand if the people understand themselves and why they do
right,
it.
right.
Because sometimes, yeah, it
Yeah.
can be just
Mhm.
join a community, go out. They do. There are many communities. As I do it here in Berlin, I do it some meetup. We go out. But after 1 year, I asked to these guys. I said, "Okay, guys, what the fuck you doing with your picture?" I mean,
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get
you
it.
do it always, but what
You
you
even
do?
start questioning yourself. Like I get in my head sometimes about that. But yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's a personal thing. It's been it's something that came out organically. I had no idea that there was a subject or a genre called street photography. I think it was like 2015 or 16. I was supposed to move to Virginia, and I just said I'm going to document New York before I leave the city that I love so much. And I just was just photographing people, and just I just fell into this street photography thing, and then a couple of years later, it's like it's blown up. It's become very very viral or popular, especially during the pandemic. I mean, now in New York, you run into so many street photographers. I've never ran into so many people like I do now.
Yeah,
Before I took somebody to a camera and be like, hey man, that's cool. Like, you shoot, I shoot. Now it's like every block you see somebody, and there's all different types of street photographers too. So I always want, like you said, I always wonder why people shoot. And for me, it's a personal thing. It's allowed me to be more courageous and more upfront. Has given me the ability to connect with people, to talk to strangers, to get out of my head and be more social, um, comfortably. So yeah.
yeah. It's. I would say, I don't know if for me it's about to be more social. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm a person. Really, I like to stay a lot alone, but I also like to stay with other people. I had never problem to get in touch with stranger
Mhm.
in general, but uh, I would say I don't know if I when I go out, I just like to in a way to use the city as a big theater of
Yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
around me, and especially when I stop strangers. I mean, yeah, I like for sure to connect with them, but I like also to act, to be an active part of
Mhm.
this theater. I mean, there is no, a lot of photographers say to the subject they stop in the street, "Ah, you're so beautiful, I will take a picture of you," stuff like that. But
Mhm.
sometimes I also challenge myself and say, someone saying, "Oh, you're so fucking ugly, I want to take a picture of you."
Yeah, no, I mean, it's honesty. I realize that honesty is the best policy. And, I'll go up to, anybody, a guy or girl, and I'll just be like, hey, the light is hitting you right, is perfectly right now. And it's only going to be here for the next 5 minutes. Can I please take this shot? And, they get it. And I feel like when people see your intentions, they're more open to, for you to take their photos. I've gone to some, like at Coney Island, I went to this big scary guy with tattoos, and you could tell he didn't want his photo taken, but he allowed me to do it. And that's what I love about it. It kind of pushes you to to get out of this fear. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. Um, it's
but you know what I think? I mean, now I'm thinking about that. I think the most of the time, the reason why push out us to go and shoot in the street is probably more the idea that we have inside of us. This
Mhm.
constantly ideas to catch that moment is inside of our mind that probably we'll never catch in our
Right.
life.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's always there. It's like you don't know exactly what, but you know that you want that things happen,
Yeah.
and especially this happen. I mean, I think this is. I mean, I try to give you an answer to why many other people now today they shoot more and more because it's also in a way a trend to reach this position I mean in general in the world especially the world of social network to reach
Mhm.
this level of photography. I mean, if you do it street or not doesn't matter. It's always this I like the picture of let's say Merowitz, okay, and
Mhm.
I watch Merowitz all the book, the blah blah blah, and then I started to structure inside of my mind that I want to
Mhm.
do each picture like this.
Right, right.
Probably on 100 people, probably just one person can do it. Maybe not, but
Yeah.
because yeah, it's something you cannot run away from. What is your approach? Even if you learn a lot, you get in touch with stranger, you know how to put the camera, you learn every technique, every skill, every secret. Uh, but then there is always, these things that if you want to do this picture like someone else, you have to be someone else.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, it's a fun it's a fun trade, it's a fun hobby, it's a fun whatever you want to call it. It's great. Really, really it's thought provoking. And I'm always curious to see people's intentions too when I run into them. Because I do see that in social media. Are you doing this for social media reasons? Are you printing your work? Are you exhibiting your work? Like, what are you doing this for? I feel like that also separates authentic photographers from just people that are doing it for the trend.
Maybe we
um,
are we are totally influenced from the stickers, the album stickers of soccer or baseball.
oh yeah.
You know, we have to collect, put
Well,
inside
I mean,
our
I was a
album.
big base basketball card collector growing up, so I guess so maybe that's where it comes from. you know
I
that's
don't know.
funny. Good
I don't know.
way.
It's we probably can talk for years about this topic and come out a lot of different ideas and
Actually,
solutions.
sorry to cut you off, but that what you just said is hilarious because my business card is actually inspired by the baseball cards. It's a really small card and it's inspired by like the 1920s baseball cards. And
Okay.
I put my work, my photography work on one side and then my information on the other. It's hilarious. But yeah, maybe you're onto something here.
I think about that because I mean I was not collecting a soccer player, but I was collecting, I don't know, the Pokemon or other cartoon. No, uh,
Yeah.
I was collecting many different cartoon stickers, and
Mhm.
and there was this even today. I mean, many when I play something on the phone or I watch movies, for example. Let's say now I watch movies. I cannot stop. I have to watch the entire things,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah.
I have to go and I have to explore, and
Yeah.
this is a kind of addiction, Also going out, I have to explore. I can go every day. I mean, I do it almost every week on the same street,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and
That's that I think that's what we have in us as photographers. We're explorers at heart. We're constantly, whether if it's just our street or if it's the other side of the world. There's something about exploration, or at least for me, it's I'm just curious. I'm like, what's over here? Like, what's over there? Why? Like when I went to Cuba, for example, I didn't go straight to Havana. I went to the other side. I said, I always hear it's Havana, Havana. I went all the way to the other side and then just kind of busted and trekked it across the whole island just to see different areas. And that's kind of like the way I navigate here too in the city. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm going to walk all the way to the east side, or I'm going to explore this neighborhood in Brooklyn I haven't been to in years. Um, yeah, exploration is definitely
it's for sure it's totally important. I mean, if you are not curious, it's really difficult that you. I mean, there are a lot of I know a lot of photographers that are not curious at all, and they do it really systematically, always the same things. I mean, I call
yeah.
them. I mean, they are the bird watcher. I want to say.
Bird watchers. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are some bird watcher that they collect
There's some good bird
birds,
watchers.
but the one they shoot always the same flower, the same landscape, the same cats,
Right,
and the
right.
same clouds. They're always doing the same things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember think, yeah, there is also curiosity in there, but I don't know.
No, I think, yeah, I think you're onto something with the, exploration thing where, yeah, you have your bird watchers, you have your people that play it safe. And for me, it's almost like a thrill to just go into these unknown neighborhoods and to show that, it's not as bad as you think it is, or there are actually good people here. Morocco, for example, I had some idiot American friends that were like, "Oh, dude, you're gonna get kidnapped out there. Oh, it's dangerous, like the Taliban." I'm like, "What? Like, no way. This is the nicest place in the world with the nicest people." And I mean, they took me into their homes. They showed me around. Not once did I feel insecure. Same thing in Colombia. Same thing in Mexico City. I've been to some pretty rough areas, but it's. I think my authenticity and intent is what stands out, and people see that, and I get a kick out of it. I get a thrill out of it. It's. I don't know how else to put it, but I think it originates from my friends that write graffiti. Um, it's just trying to get up as much as you can all over the world.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's. I mean, I think the same.
mhm.
There's no place is dangerous. It's the intention are dangerous,
Right.
and so it's if you just approach with the intention good. I mean, I come from Naples, from not the city center. Come a bit more from the village and where they produce the heroin. And yeah,
Yeah.
like imagine how I grew up, So, and yeah, there are a lot of people. I don't want to say they are bad, but they have this set mindset,
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
who kick is the better one, or yeah, if you have a gun, you are a you are
Right.
a king, or shit like that, no?
Mm.
But yeah, then yeah, you also learn that these people as a family, as a life
Right.
similar to you, they in a way everyone deserves the same things. So they need to eat, they need to sleep, they need to have sex, love, and so on. And
Yeah.
so then yeah, you can relate to that, and yeah, you can be sure that no one doing anything to you. And for sure, if you then want to
Right.
just judge and
Mhm.
go with intention, oh no, I'm afraid, or these people are the bad, they call the police and so on. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. They want to fuck you, they fuck you. Um, anyway,
You
uh,
got to be smart about it. You just can't, you can't just roll up into a neighborhood and be like, and start taking pictures or whatever you're doing out there. You just have to, be smart about it too. Um, it's not like I just rolled into a neighborhood and, like I said, start snapping away. It's either I know somebody, I find some sort of connection, and sometimes when I get that third eye, that New York, spider sense, I'm like, okay, I need to go now. Maybe I need to not go over there, so, you feel it out.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, sure, sure. So, last question I want to ask you. There are sometimes a feeling like, as we said before, we accumulate a lot of picture, and I think sometimes about if I die, no, tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow I die, no, and
mhm.
what my picture did. I mean, what effectively they can do it, or they did, or what they will do it without me.
Right.
If they will have a future, and in which way they can have a future. I mean, this is probably something I work actually on from some years, because I think it's really important to, also reserve the heritage that the things we produce.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted
No,
to
I
know
mean,
more your point of view about that.
yeah, I think, God forbid I pass away or something happens, Corona or something. Um, no, I like to, I like my pictures to show people that, we have a lot of commonalities than differences. Um, and that's what I would like to leave behind, or that's kind of like the message I'm trying to portray with my work. Um, Hence why I travel the world, go to different neighborhoods. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. It's we live in a world that's heavily driven by the media, social medias, different, very politicized world that we live in right now. It's scary times, but if you just kind of tune out a little bit, you start realizing that we're all the same. We're all equal. We have a lot of things in common than differences.
Totally, totally.
And I can go to like the South, or I can talk, go to like a NASCAR race, and show people that, hey, these people like to have fun just like you like to have fun. Or I can go into the hood of Napoli and show people that, hey, we're all, we're all in this together.
So
So
what do you think in this year to start to go a bit more deeper inside of your neighbor and yeah, starting to telling stories. I don't know, telling stories in a way more directly because you already tell stories. Yeah,
yes.
I want to say, yeah, you tell short stories in that way. I mean, every series of shoot are short stories.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, think what can be the next level? I mean, without putting out what you continue to doing normally,
Right.
I think it's even also probably go a bit more deeper inside of
Yeah, that's
around you. No,
that's
I mean,
exactly.
you have a talent. You have a talent. You're a really good
Thank
photographer.
you.
I like the way you compose. I mean, it's nothing is over post produced, and yeah, it's.
Thank
I
you.
guess you
Yeah.
know the balance in the images, and I think about, okay,
Mhm.
I would like to know more about what touch your heart and what touch really yourself and where you
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
What
Yeah. No, that's the
time,
next. That's actually something, the advice I got from some really well-known photographers, professionals, this past year. And I think that's something I want to tap into. It's what I mean is storytelling. Because I do feel, I meet these people, and I feel like there's a story there. Like, let's say I met this gentleman on Canal Street, from Senegal, selling, from the selling handbags, like black market kind of stuff. There's a huge story there because, it's back in the day, it used to just be all Asian, very on Canal Street. Now it's immigrants from Senegal. Uh, and I thought that was interesting because I saw the same thing in Morocco, and I saw the same thing in Paris and in Marseille, you know, Italy as well. And I'm just like, wow, there's something about the Senegali culture that's there's got to be a story here. Why are they doing this? Why are they why they're always hustling? And I'd like to dig a little deeper into that. Um, but yeah, I think storytelling is something I want to narrow, I want to explore and see where I can go and where it can take me because there are 60 billion stories out there
yeah,
and
yeah, sure. I mean, it's
you know,
for sure there are billions of stories out there,
we're only
but
capturing one little
but I want to
one.
say also that in my experience, I want to say that not a lot of stories they become. I don't want to say famous, but they make aware everyone. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and sometimes it's not because there are some project picture maybe are not really amazing, and they talk about stories interesting. They tell about stories interesting is important, so on.
hmm,
But sometimes it's not about the picture; it's about the whole things, the whole story. The whole story is inside. Not only the news. It's not only
right,
you have the title, but also how do you live inside of this story? How do
right,
you
yeah,
approach that, and how do you make other around be interested in that? And
yeah,
what is make the difference? How do you live inside of this story? Because yeah, you can talk about something happened or happen in front of you, but I think you can personalize. I mean,
right,
why you get in touch with that, why
mm,
uh, you are continue doing that, because I mean,
Right.
I did some stories, and take a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of dedication, and sometimes it's difficult to keep, because you relate with someone else you don't know, and sometimes it's not easy to meet this person. Maybe this person doesn't want to meet you, and you
Yeah.
have to keep going.
Yeah. No, it's the stories are, there's something more deeper than just like you said, like the front page or the title of the story. One example is like immigration, for example. As an immigrant, I'm always drawn to those stories. I'm always drawn, and maybe that's why I'm drawn to the Senegalese on Canal Street. I have a section on my website. I don't know if it's up right now. It's under construction, but it's regarding immigration and immigrants, but not just Latinos, but other cultures as well, Pakistani, African, you name it. It's a big topic that has I want to explore and kind of make a story out of it.
Okay, so was cool this talk with you, and we went over our time. So
I could talk to you for hours.
it's okay. No, hours not, but it's I don't want to go over 1 hour. It's the things I put on my setting, no.
Right.
So I was really interesting to talk with you. It was nice for me to meet you, and if anyone wants to see the work of Francisco, for me it's I think it's really interesting, relevant, and there is a lot of things on Instagram, on the website. So
thank you.
I will go deep in, and I look forward to see more about you. I would love to know if you start something a bit more a long project and deeper, and I wait news from you. And thank you again for this
thank
time.
you. Thank you for this time, for your interest in my work. I'm just, it just means a lot having somebody you're in Belgium, right?
I'm in Berlin, Germany.
Oh, Berlin. Yeah, having somebody in Berlin interested in my work, and it's just I'm very grateful and fortunate to have to have this opportunity. So thank you. I appreciate your interest.
Yeah, you're totally welcome. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and if you want to learn more about us, you can visit the link allmylinks.com, Berlin Explorer, or our website BEEXproject.com. And if you want to follow us, you can always get news from Instagram on our account BEEX Project. Thank you again, and see you in the next episode.